I was having daddy issues, and Sharon didn't address that in her relationship. I didn't realize I was having daddy issues. My daddy beat my mom their entire relationship. But did I think that was something? No. Did I think when I was going through the domestic violence, did I think it was a big deal? It's like, oh no, not a big deal. You know why? Because my mom talked about my dad abusing her. And I know familiar people who's like, yeah, this happened to me. So to me, it's like, oh, we can get past that. That's nothing. And some people say, no, that's something. So
Yeah.
it's all about what you're willing to take. But the truth is there's somebody out there. Do not give up. I'm not giving up. I'm a why. I am a why. I
That's
am
right.
not gonna give up hope. I'm not gonna stop believing that one day I'm gonna be walking down someone's aisle. I'm never gonna stop believing that.
Mhm.
I was insecure. I did feel ugly. I did feel why me, but I built myself back up, and I do believe I'm going to be someone's wife. I do believe I'm going to be walking down the aisle and he's going to be crying tears because he sees me. So I'm not going to give up hope, and I don't think you should either.
Yeah, I agree. Because I was 24 when I first got married, and it was I I don't recommend getting married at 24. Because my ex-wife was 30 at the time, and she already had a 12-year-old son. So I was raising somebody half my age. Uh,
Wow.
yeah. So and the funny thing is, to this day, me and him we still talk to each other. We still text, hey, how you doing? Blah blah blah. Like we still chat. Like we like we're good. We're still cool. Post divorce,
Mhm.
you know. So I'm grateful for that. I guess we totally got off track. Um
I
I
don't think so. Good.
huh?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, we're
We're on
good.
track.
Okay. Your story, Cass, he says, I've been mentally tortured by my ex, alienating me from my 11-year-old son. My ex has obviously moved on and had another son from another man, even while the divorce isn't finalized.
I'm
So
so sorry.
yeah, that's it's gotta be tough going through that process. Because there's a lot of people who once the divorce doesn't have to be final, because a lot of times people, once they separate, the paperwork takes forever, and people move on with their lives, you know.
And
So
to be honest, 100% transparent with you guys, and I probably have barely ever shared this with anybody. When I met the father of my kids, he was married. I did not know he was married.
mm,
He got a divorce after my second child.
mm,
It was not even fast and immediate because I never knew. I
yeah,
never knew.
yeah,
He was just gonna, I had kids with a married man.
mm,
And this is so crazy, and I can't even believe I'm saying it, but wow, it feels so crazy that I'm saying this. I did.
yeah,
I did not know that I was in a relationship with a married man.
yeah, yeah.
And he because he got married at 19.
Mm, yeah, I mean, when my wife and we got together, like the divorce, the paperwork, the ink wasn't even dry when I was talking to my wife, because my ex-wife took so long to file the paperwork. Took forever. Like she just refused to sign this paperwork. Even before I met my wife, even before I remarried, I was trying to get this paperwork signed, and she just refused to just sign the papers. And eventually she did. But that's one of those things where sometimes people, they just either don't want you to move on, or they just don't believe that I'm actually going
Marriage,
through this, that it's actually
yeah.
over. And the amount of money that I spent to try to get her to sign these papers, we're not going to even get into that. That's
That's another story. Wow.
yeah, that's another story. So yeah. What was I about to say? Oh my God, I kind of got off track. Um, I
You
guess
had a question for me?
yeah. I want to ask you, um, how important is forgiveness in order to have closure on a relationship?
I think for me, I think forgiveness is the ultimate. That's the first thing we have to do is forgive. I mean, I know we can't move on. We cannot, heal without forgiving. And like I said, I'm at the foot of God. So I'm always praying. I'm always trying to figure this out. I'm in Bible study. I'm around a group of women that are teaching me. But the truth is, I had to forgive before I even can accept, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
I forgave before. I still have my angry moments where I'm like, I hate you, I regret I ever met you, but I had to forgive him because the truth is, now at 33 years old, 7 months later, this is still quite fresh. I do believe that he just needs help. I do. So how can I be, so angry and upset and have so much hate against a person that needs some help? I told you I need help. I had to figure myself out. I'm still figuring myself out to the point since this happened. I've been reaching out to my father. I've been calling my dad. Like, I've been soul searching, saying, hey, Sharon, this is something that I'm impulsive. And if I feel like I'm right, I'm right. If I feel like I like this color, it's this color. There's no negotiating with me.
Mhm.
So I've wrote down things that I know in the future, needs to be negotiated, needs to be discussed, prior to taking it serious with anybody else. Because the truth is, I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Just like I know he needs help, I know I need help. And
Mhm.
I'm in that space right now where I'm like, okay, Sharon, you should have did this. Sharon, you never even tried to talk about it. I take accountability for my actions.
Yeah.
How can I be mad if I realize nobody's to blame?
Mhm.
Yeah, this person may did this person may, did the worst part. But the truth is, I have a lot of things I need to work on too. Just like I said, I didn't know if I was ready to be a wife. I just know I want to be a wife. I've never saw a wife or really got to know one. My mom, I wasn't raised in a household with both parents. So that whole wifey role was just, what you see on TV. He's mine, I'm his, and this is how it's gonna be forever. I didn't know, all the components, and I still don't know all the components.
Yeah.
So with that being said, it's so many layers of what needs to be done, but I think forgiveness is the first one. I definitely think forgiveness is the first one.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Nick Nicole said forgiveness is definitely a part of healing. Totally agree. Because marriage, um, and I've learned this over years, is marriage is just this mirror.
Mm.
Marriage just shows you who you are. Your spouse is just holding up this mirror, and you're looking at yourself like, oh, I need help here. Oh, I need help there. You know, there's so many things. Even with me remarrying, and as much I've learned so much from my first marriage, gotten so much better in different areas. But now, even in this remarriage, I'm like, oh, there's still things that I have to work on. Still, like I don't I think we have this idea of perfection, like we're gonna just get to this spot in life where we won't have any issues. But if that's the case, then it's gonna, time for Jesus to call us home. It's like nobody's perfect. Um, and that's why we need his grace, right? That's why we need Jesus, because we fall short of the glory of God. It's really about having someone who can show you grace and space.
That
And
is good. And I love what you said about the mirror, because you don't know yourself until somebody's complaining to you about what you've done or who you've been or the things you've said. Like, you say things in words. We always say, oh, words don't matter. Words matter.
they do.
Until you're the person that they saying it to, you don't really think it matters, but it does, because I was always the one to say hurtful, mean things, because it's like in the moment I'm mad. In the
Mm.
moment, I know this will hurt your feelings, but then it's like when you think about it, it's like, wow, did you just say that to me?
Yeah.
Because you can't take what you do. Just like you said, the mirror thing, just like um it's a lot of things I didn't think I was capable of until being alone. Like for example, I'm alone. I'm home. Well, since the last interview, I said,
Yeah.
you know, I'm home alone. Like I am alone. I'm alone so much. I've never been alone. I've never had this space to myself. I've never been alone. It's constantly, we're every day, 6 whole years, we were together. We were in the house together. And I've never been alone. I never just got a chance to like just reevaluate me, get to know me. I'm learning me just by being in my space alone every single day, and literally what I'm capable of, because I never thought I could start over by myself, my own place. I'm doing every single thing by myself. I'm like, I really pay these bills by myself. I pay every single one of my bills alone.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just like coming from being in a relationship, you know, you're not doing things alone when you're in a relationship, or I don't expect anybody to be doing things alone. But in my relationship, I never did anything alone. Bills, that was the least of my worries. That was one thing I never really worried about.
Yeah.
Bills or financial things, that was all for him. That was all, that was his, you know, main thing was finances, and keeping up with our finances. So for me to start keeping up with my own finances and managing my money, it was like, God, I really, I really got to do this by myself. We don't have an agreement where I get funds or child support, none of that, nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm like learning what I'm capable of for a while now. I mean, it's not been that long, but for 6 months, I've been doing it all by myself. And it does make me feel another sense of confidence. I do feel like a super mom. I do feel like, okay, Sharon, you got this. That's another part of my growth.
Yeah.
I'm able to manage myself. I'm not sloppy with my money as I used to be. And now I think before I do stuff, because I don't have anybody to fall back on. Of
Mm.
course, I do have my sister, but I don't have that. Okay, babe, I spent my whole entire check.
Yeah.
I still knew I had a roof over my head.
Yeah.
But now it's like, Sharon, if you don't pay these bills, they won't get paid. So now I see myself, and I am proud of myself.
Mm.
I feel powerful. I do.
I love it. No, that's huge because